Good morning. I'm Rose from Grandma Rose's Open Pantry, and today I'm going to make something that I haven't made in 25 years. I used to compete a lot at the Georgia National Fair in Perry, and I also competed with there's some of my ribbons right there. That's just a little portion of them. I have a lot more than that, but I also competed in the Georgia National Egg Commission contest for the state of Georgia. And I placed several times, but I won first place once. And to tell you a little story about this, um, I had won first place the previous year from what I was trying to enter this particular year. And I did not realize that if you had won or placed the year before that you could not enter. So it came around for everybody to send their entries in. You sent your recipe in and they chose 10 from the whole state. Well, they chose me. And so for some reason, I got to looking at the rules and it said if you had entered the year before that you cannot enter again. Well, I thought they've chosen me. What am I going to do? So I called the guy at the Georgia Egg Commission and I said, let me ask you a question. I said, I've searched all your rules and I have not found anywhere that the person that cooks the recipe is the one that comes up with the recipe, that makes the recipe. He said, well, Rose, he said, I'll have to check into that. So he called me back the next day and he said, I cannot find anywhere in the rules that you have to cook your recipe. So I said, well, if my daughter will do it for me, can she just use my recipe and cook it? And he said, there's nowhere in the rules that that can't happen. So that's what she did. Jenny, my daughter. And she won first place also. So she won $1,000. That's what the prize was. For first place was $1,000. And it's manicotti. It's a breakfast manicotti. And it has to be an original recipe, something that you come up with yourself. So I'm cooking it this morning, uh, and we're going to see how it turns out since I haven't done it in 25 years. So I hope that story made sense. But it's got sausage in it, and back here I've got sausage in my skillet. It's got sausage and apples and pepper jack cheese and eggs and pecans. And we're going to stuff them in our manicotti shells. So I'm going to let this brown. When that browns, I'm going to, I've got 3 apples cut up here and I've got some lemon juice in this bowl. I'm going to chop these in my little chopper because I want them chopped real fine so they'll go in my manicotti shells. If they're too big, you can't stuff them in your shells. So y'all cross your fingers for me that this is going to turn out this morning because I cannot find the recipe that we use. So I called Jenny. I said, Jenny, I remember some of the things we put in the recipe, but I can't really remember all of it. So we got our heads together and we both came up with how we thought we did it. So we're going to try to replicate that this morning. So I'm going to chop my apples in my little chopper. Okay, some of them aren't chopping real good, so I'll take them out. Uh-oh, there's a seed. I need to get that seed out of there. All right. I'm going to keep cooking my sausage. I'm not going to put any salt I may put some pepper because this is mild sausage, and I really wish I had hot, but I don't. So I'm going to keep chopping my apples. Then I'm going to chop some onions in here because I want everything real fine, cut up real fine. So I don't always get this thing on here. I'm trying to be in too big of a hurry. I need to slow down, y'all. That's me. I think I have to go at high speed doing everything. Okay. I may not use all three of these apples. We'll just see. Okay. All right. I'm just going to keep chopping the apples, and then I'm going to do my onion. And when we get ready to put all of it in here, and I've got my water on back here getting really, really hot, I'm going to drop my manicotti shells in it. I'm going to cook them for, I think, 10 minutes. I think it's what they say, for 9 to 10 minutes. So I'm going to drop my manicotti shells in here when the water gets boiling. And after 10 minutes, I'm going to take them out and I'm going to put them in this cool water so I can stuff them. So it'll be easier for me to stuff them. So just as soon as we get through with this, then I'll be back and we'll get everything put together and stuff our shells. Okay, I've got my onion in here. Now I'm fixing to put my apple. My sausage are brown, and I took the somewhere. Anyway, I took the grease off, and now I'm going to put my apples. Now it's not going to take these apples and onions long because I've ground them up so fine. And I'm going to add something different to this. I'm going to add some pecans to it in a minute. But Roy said, honey, why don't you add a little cinnamon and a little honey to give it just a little cheesy sweet flavor? So I took some out and I made some right here. It's delicious. So I'm going to put like a fourth of a teaspoon of cinnamon in here. And I'm going to put like 2 tablespoons of honey. Now this is honey that came from our bees. We don't have bees any longer, but I've still got some honey left over. Okay. And I'll taste of it and see if that's going to be sweet enough. I don't want it really, really sweet. I just want it to have that little spicy, cinnamony, honey, sweet flavor to it. Okay, I turned it down. I'm going to turn it back up to like medium. And my manicotti shells are in here cooking. I need to time them. They've already been on like 3 minutes, so I'll put them on 7 minutes. All right. Now these are not going in the oven. These are not, when I get them stuffed, then I'm going to sprinkle cheese over them and they're going to be ready to eat. They're not going to have a sauce over them. The only thing they're going to have over them is my pepper jack cheese. So, okay, I'm just going to let these apples, I'm going to taste this first. Just see if I've got it.
Takes a good bit of stirring with a small amount of honey like that.
It does. Oh my goodness, y'all. That is delicious. That is so good. And we're going to put eggs in here. The eggs is going to be my binder. The eggs and the cheese is going to be the binder. After all, it was a egg contest. I mean, so I had to incorporate eggs into it. Okay. So this is kind of like a breakfast manicotti. All right, it's going to take this 2 or 3 minutes. But like I say, it's not going to take the apples long nor the onions, but I'm going to let them cook about 2 or 3 more minutes.
It'd make a nice hors d'oeuvre if you sliced them in 1 inch
Yes,
sections.
yes, it would. It surely would.
Good with coffee.
Oh, yeah. And that, I only put a half of an onion in it, and that's perfect. You don't want any more than that. The half onion is for this amount. This is 1 pound of sausage. So the half of onion. And I did not use all my apple. I think I'm going to put a little bit more apple. Okay. Now I'm going to let this cook about 3 or 4 more minutes until my apples get ready. By that time, my manicotti's got 6 minutes. So I'm going to taste of it again, make sure.
Are you working your magic, baby?
I'm trying. All right. Since I put a little bit more apple and 2 eggs in it, I added an 1/8 teaspoon of cinnamon and another tablespoon of honey to it. When I tasted of it, after I got it all in, it needed that. Now I'm going to add my pepper jack cheese, about a cup. Okay. My manicotti baby, I got to get my manicotti out. Now I've got some over here, extras, because if you've ever worked with pasta, you know it tears up sometimes. So I've got extra just in case. All right. I'm going to put it down in my cold water. Like that one's kind of ripping at the end. And this will cool them off. Plus, I've got to let my mixture cool over here so I can stuff them. Okay. All right, that one tore completely up. So I may have to cook more.
It'll be open face manicotti.
Yeah. Well, since this is just us, I'll make it work. But I do have more over there. So, but even if I have to put it together with toothpicks, I'll make it work.
I'll eat it whether it's split or not.
Yeah,
Baby.
yeah. This is not for a contest. So, all right. I'm going to turn this off. I'm going to stir my cheese in. Then I'm going to let this cool a little bit so I can handle it. And we're going to be back, and y'all, we're going to stuff our manicotti, and we're going to taste. See if it tastes like it did 25 or 30 years ago. I forget. About 25 years ago.
Okay.
All right, y'all. I'm putting some pecans in here, some nuts. This is so delicious. I just tasted of it. Oh my. It is so good. Now, take your manicotti, and this one is split a little bit. So there's 2 ways you can do this. Or you can do it with a long spoon, or you can do it with a piping bag and you can pipe it up in there. But I'm going to try to do it like this because I just think it would be easier. So you take your spoon and you put it halfway, like this. Okay. Oh, I think it's coming out the other side. That's okay. Push that back down and then just lay it in your dish like that. I'll pick up another one. Now you can use a piping bag, but I think this is going to work for me. If you're using a piping bag, you pipe it up to halfway, turn it around, and pipe it the other half. But this one, I think I'm pretty much just push it all the way through when I'm using a spoon. Okay. A couple of them stuck to the bottom of the pan. So what I'll do, I'll just cook since I got those left. You want to see, baby? Okay.
I wanted them to see.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Till it gets to the end and it's.
Oh, that looks great.
I'm going to push it a little bit more and put a little bit more in there. So you got it on both ends. Okay. All right. We're going to do another one. And by putting it in that cool water, it keeps it from sticking together. If you were to put them in a bowl and they were hot, then they would stick together. But this cool water just keeps them from sticking to each other. Okay. Now, y'all, this is a $1,000 recipe. This is the blue ribbon winner right here.
Well, it's good for breakfast for your guests.
Yeah.
Or if you have overnight guests, it's a great dish for the next morning.
Yes. Okay.
But it's also good anytime you want to serve coffee and.
Oh, yeah. And you can just take them and cut them on a slant in half, and it make a wonderful hors d'oeuvre. Or an appetizer.
Or bedtime snack.
Oh, yeah.
Guests.
Yeah. Y'all, this is so good.
Or pack them in lunch bags and travel with them.
And if you have never thought of doing breakfast manicotti, you ought to try it. It's really good. But now this doesn't just have to be for breakfast. I mean, we're having it for supper tonight. Cale and his mom are going to be here. And we're having it for supper. I'm just making it early. Okay, I'm not going to make y'all watch me stuff the rest of them because y'all see how it's done. But now, when I get all these done, I'm going to take and I'm going to put pepper jack, and I probably won't do it until just before I serve it. I'll put pepper jack cheese on them, and then I'm going to chop some more pecans, and I'm going to sprinkle pecans over it. And it's going to make a beautiful, beautiful dish. So,
do you reheat it and sort of melt the cheese?
You do. Okay. Yeah. I said I wasn't going to go ahead, but I'm going to have to go ahead and put the cheese on it because I have to take a picture of this. And but if I was going to make it like right now and serve it tonight, I would wait and put my cheese and pecans on it until then. So, but because I've got to take thumbnail pictures and all that, I'm probably going to have to go ahead. But before I serve it, I'll just stick it in the microwave and reheat it. So, we'll be back as soon as I get them all stuffed. Turned on. Okay. I got 6 stuffed. And I got enough for 3 more. So I'll do those in just a few minutes. All right, this is the way I'm going to serve it. Pepper jack cheese and a few pecans over that. And I'll melt my cheese just before I serve it. Now, that, y'all, is something good. That is delicious. I've already tasted of the filling. Blue ribbon winner. So, literally a blue ribbon winner.
Forget the ribbon. That's $1,000.
Yeah, that's a tongue twister. Okay, thank y'all for joining me this morning. I know this is different, and some of you have probably never even considered doing a breakfast manicotti. But if you can do breakfast burritos, if you can do other things with your shells and your tostito shells and all of that, you can certainly do a breakfast manicotti. So this doesn't need a white sauce. This doesn't need any sauce over it. This is all you need because that filling is so yummy and tasty. Thank y'all for joining me this morning, making my breakfast manicotti. Food feeds the family, family feeds the heart, God feeds the soul. Put deliciousness back in good food. Please share this video, subscribe to my channel, hit that notification bell, leave me a comment. I'll catch y'all next time.